Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the differences between the two Bandai product smartwatches that are currently out, or quote-unquote smartwatches, and that is the Digimon VB or Digital Monster Vital Bracelet and the Tamagotchi Smart. So this is a video that I kind of wanted to do since the Tamagotchi Smart was announced, but I also had a few people asking me to do it. So I was like, well, I'm already doing it, but I definitely will make sure I release it soonish in that case. So first up, in general, they're quite different in terms of size. The screen, of course, is a lot smaller on the Digimon VB. It's taller but thinner, but also thicker. But not too much thicker. This one's more the size of a Tamagotchi connection. This one's just a thick boy because of the heart rate monitor in general, just making it a little bit on the thicker side. So the main difference between these two is that one has a heart rate monitor and one doesn't. And when I say that, I mean that the battery life on the VB is maybe like 2 to 3 days, maybe like 2.5 days, and the battery life on the Tamagotchi Smart is closer to 4 days, I would say. And obviously I think that it is easier to charge in terms of the fact that it doesn't actually need to be connected to me to live. So I try to always charge my Digimon VB overnight on the basis that if it's when it's awake, I will risk it basically losing vitals, which is what happens when it doesn't have your heart rate. And it's kind of annoying. I did notice that if it's placed on something that's white, like the top of my computer, or I guess this light box, it actually, for some reason, reads the heart rate and is able to get me vitals. So that's a kind of a neat workaround if I do want to charge it during the day. But otherwise, you have to wear this, and if you don't wear it for 24 hours, it dies. Another one of the main differences is in the DIM cards or smart cards on the Tamagotchi Smart. Now, while they appear more or less the same, they use the same connector. On both sides, actually, the charger is the same and the DIM card or smart card is the same. But in fact, they have different functionality, which you would expect because they're different properties. So first of all, the VB is nothing without the DIM card. If you don't have any DIM cards, you can't actually use the VB at all. There are no characters on the VB itself. You need to put on a DIM card. In terms of the Tamasmart, you actually don't need to ever have a smart card. The smart card only gives you the ability to have certain adults unlocked, and each smart card, I think, has 4 adults. The VB has the whole roster on the DIM card. So if you don't have a DIM card, you can't use the VB. If you don't have the Tamasmart card, you can still use the Tamagotchi Smart. You just won't have access to a bunch of free goodies. So when I say free goodies, I mean that when you go to the shop, you can purchase certain items that would not be available if you didn't have the smart card. So it's more like the Tamagotchi Ps. So you can go through and you can select anyone with that little icon at the top there, and it is a free item which you can buy. So instead of it being like any of the other items, so if we scroll, I clicked on it by mistake. And also the other difference is obviously touchscreen and one button instead of just buttons. So if we go and buy this item, we see that it's 400 Gotchi points. And that's, of course, another difference on the VB, is that it doesn't have that many features on the actual Tamagotchi, well, the VB itself. It's more relating to the app, which has a lot of features, and the main draw is evolving depending on your activity levels and doing fitness things with it. On the Tamagotchi Smart, it's more like a traditional VPet in which you have to feed it. It falls asleep, you have to give it care. The VB, you can kind of just ignore it more or less for most of the day. as long as you get the battle requirements in and the trophy requirements in. So the Tamagotchi Smart is less fitness focused. It's more like that's just an extra gimmick to it, but you could very much just use the Tamagotchi Smart like a regular Tamagotchi. It of course does come with the watch adapter, which you kind of just click it in place and you can wear it, and that's sort of how it was shown off, that you wear this, but I don't wear it on my wrist. That's why this is still brand new white, and you can see that this one's a little bit dirtied on these rubber bits here, because I just find that it's fine just to have in my pocket or in a little carry case like this. But I did notice that the step counter isn't as accurate as on the VB, so there's that. But in general, I'm not sure which one I prefer. I do like the fitness aspect of the VB because the Tamagotchi Smart doesn't really have much to do with fitness. The steps don't appear to really do much, and it does have certain games which I guess could be sort of like an almost exercise. Like if we go to the Tamawork, which is what the game is called. Like you're not playing a game anymore, you're actually going to work, and that's why you get money, which makes more sense than just a random game where you get money for. So there is, not that one, this one's just a memory game, which is still pretty fun. So we've just got to remember what items she wants. So she wanted banana. She wanted the colour one, I think. And I think that was strawberry. I can't remember now. And I honestly can't remember what's on top. I think it was a cherry. Oh, nope. I meant to do the caramel one. Oh well. She says, no, that's wrong. But I mostly got it right, so I still get points. But yeah, so the games aren't all like related to fitness. There's only like, oh, I clicked it again. Why am I so bad at scrolling? Maybe I need to be scrolling down. Oh no, that's just telling me what's on the order. That's so much easier. I'm the dumbest. Oh, I meant to click strawberry. I am the dumbest. And I forgot what was on top. Nope, completely wrong. She's like, that's really wrong. At least I got one right, which is like better than complete failure. Alright, now I'm going to select the correct one. Oh my gosh. Apparently we're just going to be playing this game forever. So yeah, that's another thing. Because we're using touchscreen controls, it kind of forces you to use the touchscreen. There's only one button. These two are fakes. And it's just kind of a little bit annoying. I did not pay attention at all, and you can tell. Yeah, I know, that's completely different. I'm sorry. Okay, so the dance one is probably the most fitness-oriented one. You have to wear it on a band, and then with the music, you kind of have to do this while it's on your arm. So that's like the only fitness. You kind of have to do that, but it wants you to put this on your wrist. And that's the only one that I can think is moderately fitness-oriented. And you do a perfect job just by jiggling up and down, but that's the only one that I can really say is fitness oriented. So it's not like a fitness device like the VB is. This one is more just like a regular Tamagotchi with the ability to track steps. So it's not, if you're looking for a fitness little virtual pet, then get the VB. But if you're looking for a virtual pet, get the Tamagotchi, because the Tamagotchi is more of a typical virtual pet. There's more to do on it. The Vital Bracelet, like you can't really do much. You kind of just do the exercises and you do adventure mode, which is you have to walk and deplete a certain number of steps and then beat the Digimon at the end of those steps. And that's sort of it. There's, of course, more of a game on the app where you can fight the Digimon that you raise on your VB against either other people having with their Digimon, or you play with the other people and you fight against a raid boss, which I've shown off in videos before. But there's not really much of a game to the VB. And again, you can't use it without the DIM card. This you could absolutely use without the smart card. It has a bunch of things that the smart card unlocks. It's not just the complete roster, it's just a few adult stage Tamagotchi characters. But there are more things like the clock you can unlock. There's also different layouts for your house that you can purchase for free. There's the food you can purchase for free that comes because of this. Same with the item that I was showing you earlier. So there's just a little bit more in terms of what the smart card has to offer instead of what the DIM card has to offer, which is like the DIM card is basically the whole Digimon from egg to fully evolved form, and then the smart card is basically just like extra goodies, just like the Tamagotchi Ps and the Tamagotchi 4U. You didn't need the touch cards on the 4U, you didn't need the Ps, the Pierce on the Ps, but it did sort of add additional content, which is what the smart cards do. So it's like you don't have to buy the Tama smart cards. In fact, the pink and blue versions of the Tamagotchi Smart don't actually come with Tamagotchi smart cards because you don't need them. But the VBs, when you buy them, all come with a DIM card, and you can't find it without the DIM card. And then, of course, the strap, which is similar in the way that it's like a little clip that goes through this, and then you push it down into a hole. But it is so much more secure. Like this, you kind of have to force in, and then you can't really pull it out with ease. This one, I know I have it separated. I have the additional strap because this was falling off. But you kind of it pushes in really easy, and then you pull it out basically super easy. So that can come undone with just any light tug. And this is also not super tight. The one here is a little tighter around the edges. This one is actually kind of loose, and it falls out, and it just isn't very good. And also this thing here comes out super easily. So it's just the VB feels like it falls apart a lot easier, and that's why I changed the strap. For this, and I've worn a little bit if I'm doing ring fit, or I've gone for a walk and I'm not wearing something with pockets in it, or I don't want to have it in my pocket, and I've used it, and it doesn't come as easily undone as the VB, but it is also nice to have that option to not have to wear it as a watch, because otherwise it is fairly bulky, especially if you already have a watch of some kind. Maybe you already got a Fitbit, or maybe you just have a regular watch that just tells the time. Whatever, it's nice to be able to have that option. I kind of wish the VB had a mode where maybe it doesn't give you vitals, but it doesn't kill it if you don't wear it. I get the reasoning behind it, but it makes it kind of like you have to wear this super, super thick watch or else your Digimon dies. Not a huge fan of that. But in general, I like both. I think I like them both equally. I don't think I like one more than the other. They're different. They've got different things that I like about them. I like the fitness aspect of the VB, but in terms of a game that I want to play, the Tamagotchi Smart has a lot more to do in it. And also it doesn't have an app, because the VB Lab app won't be there forever. In 10 years, it will likely be shut down, like the Tamagotchi Meets app, which is ending, like the servers are ending in a few months. So in a few years, if there's no VB app, it cuts out a lot of the functionality of the VB. On the VB app, you can store the Digimon, so you can have multiple running, but if there's no app, you can only have the 2 that has space for it on the VB. The Tamagotchi, of course, you can only run the 1 character, and then you run it till it dies, and that's about it. There's also male and female characters, and there's also, of course, the touchscreen where you can talk to your Tamagotchi character. You can rub it. There's a sweet little thing that happens when it goes to bed. It wants you to pat it. That's kind of cute. There's just a bunch of cute little things on this that the VB really doesn't have. But I still like the VB because it's a fitness device, and this isn't really I wouldn't call it a smartwatch because it doesn't really do anything that a smartwatch can do except for like tell the time and show you how many steps you've done. But that's not really like I wouldn't call that a special feature or anything. So here's the clock, and this is one of the clock faces you unlock by having the 1996 Friends Tamisma on, which is kind of cute. It's got the step count there, it's got the time, it's got the date. Fairly simple stuff, but you have to navigate to the clock. Of course, this one just has it all the time. And you can change backgrounds, but it only gives you one background. Oop, that's the wrong button. It only gives you the one background per dim card. And when you put it on the... There we go, there's the Digimon dim background, which is pretty cool. But yeah, once you put that in the app, it actually resets the background to whatever the default one is. So there is that. It does give you a few things with the dim card, but not as much as what the Tamagotchi smart cards give you. So that's basically a rundown of the differences between the two. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll answer them. I think I'm pretty much covered everything that these two devices have that's different or similar. If I were to recommend one, it would definitely have to do with what you are looking for. If you're looking for a virtual pet, get the Tamagotchi Smart because it's a traditional virtual pet. If you're looking for a fitness-based device, like a Fitbit but with a Digimon that you can raise and it works with an app that you can battle, I would recommend the VB. Of course, I've got lots of videos about the functionality of the app as well as the functionality of the VB and the DIMS itself. So check those out if you are interested. And of course, I've got a few videos that are out with the Tamagotchi Smart, so you can also check those out if you're interested. But yeah, it honestly depends on what kind of virtual pet you're looking for. The VB I wouldn't call a virtual pet, but it does die if you don't wear it. The Tamagotchi Smart is absolutely a virtual pet. So if you like the regular Tamagotchis, then the Tamagotchi Smart's for you. If you want a Digimon that is a fitness tracker as well, the VB's for you. Or you can just get both like I did because I love them both equally. They both have their own pros and cons, I guess. This one I find is a lot harder than the VB because you actually have to look after it. You actually have to put it to bed, you have to, cuddle it, you have to tell it nice things, you have to increase its fondness, you have to feed it like, you would an actual virtual pet. It's definitely a virtual pet, and this one is not a virtual pet, so it depends on what you're looking for. Also, the thing is, it's kind of annoying when you have to feed it because you have to click lots of different buttons and you have to hold them down for about 1.5 seconds, or like half a second rather. And it eats, and that's really cute. But you actually have to feed it, you actually have to look after it, and that's something that you don't really have to do on the VB. The VB you look after sort of passively just by wearing it. But anyway, those are the differences. Let me know what you thought, and if you have any other questions in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!